Hello everyone, this is Alyssa Huber of The Life of an Aspie, and today for the Autistic Gaming Initiative for this month, I'm going to be talking about Asperger's and emotions. My thing was going out of focus. I just got a new webcam, so hopefully it looks a little bit better than the last video I did with my face. So normally I do gaming for the Autistic Gaming Initiative, because that's kind of what it is. I just wanted to do something different this time, mostly because I'm kind of burned out on video games, to be honest. So, before I begin, though, I should mention the Autistic Gaming Initiative is basically to help raise money for Autistic Self-Advocacy Network and the Autism Women's Network. So, if you could look below the video, there are donation links, so donate to them. That would be awesome. That would totally help our cause. Hi everybody. Hi Steph. Hi Passerby. And hi Fabs. Welcome. So yeah, I didn't really have a script for this. I probably should have, because I tend to work better with scripts. First I should ask, can you hear me okay? I have nature music, or nature sounds playing in the background. I hope they're not too loud. I mean, maybe. Oh no, I bumped it! The joys of using a CD player. Huh. Hi, how are you all doing? So like I said, I don't really have a script. But definitely emotions are like they're a big topic for anybody, not just people on the spectrum. Yay! Thanks, Fabs. Oh, that's fine if you can't donate. You're helping out just by being here. You could spread the link to my stream around if you want. Like, post it on your Facebook and say, hey, this person's trying to raise money for autism charities. Go check it out. Or share the Autistic Gaming Initiative in general, just to help get the word out. But yeah, that would be probably the one thing that you could do that would be super helpful. So, as I said, emotions are universal, but for people on the spectrum, they can be quite complicated, mostly due to our experience being like much more extreme than the average person, so that makes our emotions much more extreme. And sorry, I want to answer Fabs first. Oh. What's going on? I'm doing pretty good. I'm really tired because I'm getting off of all my supplements and stuff, or my meds. If I say meds, I'm talking about all my natural supplements that I take, because I don't like psychiatric medication, so I take stuff, and so right now I'm frazzled. But as I was saying, emotions for an Aspie can be very difficult to handle. Because, at least from my experience, like, I process a whole lot more than the average person, so I'm much more prone to be anxious, much more prone to be stressed out, so that can make my emotional reactions to things, like, way more intense than they should be. And it's not, like, noticeable nowadays, because I've learned how to hide, like, the fact that I'm this bubbling volcano of stress and emotions. But, like, if you ever see, like, kids having meltdowns, like, in stores, or just, like, in a situation where, like, somebody would normally be upset, but they're, like, upset times 10, like, if, their schedule changes or something, or if they, I don't know. I should think of an example from my childhood, because there's plenty of those. Like, when I was in middle school. Middle school was interesting. I think there was this one day when... I'm trying to remember what it was that upset me. But I think I was going to be late for school or something. My mom usually dropped me off. I didn't take the bus. I think I was going to be late. I was probably having a bad morning. And I remember we were walking through the parking lot. I was going to go into school. I was so stressed out and so tense and so just angry. I took my lunchbox and I threw it on the ground. I threw it on the ground! Okay, sorry. I had to reference that. But I had a barbecue chicken sandwich in there, and I love barbecue chicken sandwiches. They're amazing. And the sandwich was in a glass container, and the container broke, and I got even more upset. My mom was like, well, you're the one who threw it. And I'm like... So it's like, I shouldn't have been that upset that I was just a little bit late for school, but I was. So, that's just one example. And yes, Fabs, I mean, I'm not you, so I don't quite understand that, but I've seen that in others, and it doesn't seem fun at all to, like, find it that difficult just to go, you know, take a bath or to go do something basic, so I'm sorry that you have that experience. It's pretty awful. There are some days when I'm, like, so, I don't know how to put it. It's like, I'll sometimes have what they might call autistic burnout. I'll just be totally burned out, and, like, simple things are near impossible, so for me to, like, get myself to get up from where I'm sitting to go take a shower is just ridiculous. Aw, what? What does that mean? Did you donate to me, Fabs? Thank you, that was very sweet. I didn't know if that was that donating towards the Autistic Baby Initiative thing, or was that towards me? I mean, I don't mind either way, but thank you, that was very sweet. Let's see. What else was I going to say? I need a drink. Speaking of emotions, as I mentioned, I am off my meds, and it's a very interesting experience. My moods are generally all over the place, whether I'm on meds or not, but now it's like, my mood is like, a little bit lower than normal because I have this constant buzz in the back of my head that it's so much more noticeable now that I'm off meds, but it's like this buzz of energy and it won't shut up and it won't go away. I will get into that in a moment. Sorry, I'm getting a message. I need to make sure that I'm actually, like, streaming. So give me one moment. This will be very, very brief little break here. As a friend said, I am not live, apparently, and yet I am live. I don't know which channel I'm on right now. I kind of changed everything last minute, so I want to make sure I'm on the right channel. Oh, oh, it's working on my end. Okay, we're good. Okay, it looks like I'm streaming on YouTube as well. So the friend who I asked to check. Oh, there you go. Aha, hello. Hello, friend. You know who you are. Thank you for checking on that for me. Yep. Yeah, I take mostly herbs. I almost don't want to give away my secrets on that, but they're legal, I promise. They're just the kind of herbs that you can go on the internet and buy, like well, I will tell you one of them because it's amazing. Ashwagandha for anxiety. Don't take too much or you will be very, 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 very sleepy, but it's really great for anxiety. And let's see. I take a couple amino acids. I take a lot of vitamins because I don't know why. I don't know where a lot of my issues come from. So it's like, just in case, I'll take a bunch of vitamins in case I got a deficiency of some sort. So I don't recommend that, just doing that willy-nilly. But, I'm a risky person, I suppose. Dun 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 dun. Wait, what? Da, 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 da. I want to get rid of my... Oh, there you go. Now you won't see my cursor. Yay! Yep. Every little bit helps, Fabs. That's awesome. Yee. So, what else was I gonna talk about? Emotions. So I mentioned they were a lot of Aspie emotions tend to be extreme, and that's because we're processing a lot. Another kind of weird thing is we can be, depending on the person, we can be less sensitive to our emotions. I'm one who's like, I'm ridiculously self-aware, so I will know how I'm feeling. If you ask how I'm feeling, I can tell you. Um, and I'm going to probably have to ban some people over here. I can't. One moment. I have some banning to do. Dun 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 dun. Sorry guys, we had some butt faces in the chat, and I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of them. I wasn't signed in, so give me a moment. Hey guys, I'm still here. Sorry I'm so quiet. I was banning some weirdos on Twitch. I will be back in just a moment, okay? I gotta also reconnect to the chat because it's not letting me type. And I might have to type for a bit because I was thrown off. So, yep, those guys have probably very sad lives. Just saying. So, yeah, be right back. Hello. Hi. I was just listening to music. I have it still playing through my headphones in case I just want to put it on and listen to more music. Intermittent explosive disorder. I've heard of that. I'm not sure what to think of it because it's like there's a lot of disorders that can look like it. But that must be kind of frustrating to just not feel like you have control over that. Hi. Uh-oh. Wait. Gotta... Alright. Thank you everybody in Discord who are trying to help me and give me tips. A friend of mine sent me a command for banning, so I managed to do that after a little bit. But thank you. Sorry, I was like, if I didn't respond, it's because I was all frazzled. So, yeah. There's a... To be honest, those aren't real birds. It's a... I can show you. Oh, I actually have to hold it funny because it's a CD player. Yeah, remember back in the day when we had to use these and you can't like tip them or shake them or it'll stop playing because it's got a disc spinning around in there. Ah! Stay there. Stay there. Good boy. Or girl. I don't want to gender you. Anyway. Wow, I guess that was a test for myself to see how quickly I could, I guess get my bearings and come back. 'Cause I have a kind of a thing where I spiral, like once a bad emotion comes in. See, and here, now there's, oh yeah, my bear. Why don't I set him up? Because he's super cute, so he'll just be stalking me in the background. Stay there, Teddy. So, teddy bear. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna hold him because he's super cute. He's huge. He's too huge. Okay. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Normally, no, this actually is kind of a good opportunity now to, this like fits in with the topic. When I have a bad emotion come in, I tend to spiral, so it's like, you know, trolls come in, and I'm like, oh, crud. So I spent all this time, like, getting ready for the stream, and then trolls come in, and I'm like, well, I don't know how to ban them. And mood went down, and now I'm like, okay, these guys are waiting for me, I want to talk about this, I'm not gonna let this get to me. And I'm back. So that hardly ever happens, honestly. So trolls, thank you. By trying to be annoying, you actually gave me a little bit of practice in emotional regulation, which is probably something you don't have, considering that you can't control whatever your fingers are doing, all the weird typing and stuff. You might want to see a doctor about that, by the way. So, Teddy... Stay there. There's Teddy. Yeah, so... Thank you, Fabs. You're awesome. Now I wish I could share some of this... I don't know what the word is. Some of the emotional regulation ability with other people. I'm not, like, really good at it. Just putting that out there, but I've witnessed a lot of people who they spiral and they can't get back, and it's hard, I get it. Yes! Megan, I feel you on that. Like, you mean fainting? 'Cause, I hardly ever pass out, I hardly ever faint, but when I get really stressed out, or really anxious, or like having like a feeling of panic, I get that too. It's not fun. Especially if I'm like sitting in a classroom or in a lecture or something and I'm like feeling that. I'm like, I'm gonna pass out. But I don't. But it's like that urge is so just, ugh. Yep. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to set Teddy up in a way that makes it look like he's not stalking me, but it's kind of hard. He's a stalker! There, now he's further back. Because true stalkers have to keep a good distance, right? So I'd like to ask you guys, what is... Now, I don't want to just talk about negative emotions, because there's positive ones, but like, what is the one emotion that you seem to feel the most? Whether it is positive or negative. Like, something that seems to be your dominant emotion. And I know that it's not that black and white for everybody, but like, some people tend to like have more anger issues. Other people tend to be more chipper most of the time. Some people tend to be more depressive. Oh, sensory stuff. Are you having sensory issues right now, Fabs, or just in general? Oh, wow, Edward. So you would legit pass out then around people. That's not fun. Ugh. Let's see. Extreme anger and loneliness. Oh, understandable. And extreme happiness. That kind of goes along with, wait, were you the one who said you had bipolar? Sorry, I'm trying to keep track of people here. Or was that UK photo? I'm trying to figure out who said they are bipolar. I don't remember who said that they're bipolar, but oh, OCD, gotcha. And ADHD, sweet. Sounds more like me then. I officially have a diagnosis of OCD now, so I have Asperger's and OCD, and I very strongly suspect that I have some ADHD in there, but it's hard to say because a lot of things that come with OCD and Asperger's tend to look like ADHD. Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. You know, one moment. Anyway, let's see. Okay. That makes sense. Sounds like we've got some things in common then, Edward, because, for a while I suspected I might have some kind of mood disorder. It might just be, you know, just my makeup or whatever, but my emotional makeup, but, let's see. What was I saying? I tend to get, into these states where I feel extremely, like, happy. Like, ridiculously happy. And this doesn't really happen very often, but it's like, it'll last for a couple hours. Usually if I'm listening to music's a big trigger. I'll just be like, woo, my brain is radiating sunlight, and then it just dies. So, I get you there. Oh, Asperger's is generally hereditary, I think. At least the studies are starting to show that it is. In terms of other causes, no idea. I don't really care to know. Oh, and I'm lacking in new videos mostly because I think crap of myself, guys. No. Well, I know that's part of it. I just, like, I'm not very motivated. It takes me a long time to make much of anything. Especially videos nowadays. It's like, that was what I studied for, and I tend to, nowadays, I'm spending more time, like, cooking and sleeping and shopping and doing normal everyday things, so I'm trying to be independent, which is hard. So it's really hard to do videos when I'm trying to, like, just survive. I know I sound like I'm like, wah, first world problems, but I I've tried juggling like a normal workload, normal anything, and I'm not very good at it, and I'm not very good at even just taking care of myself. I want to make more videos. I have so many ideas for new videos. It's just so hard to get around to making them, and to there's too many steps, too many tasks, and I just blow up and ugh. So, oh wow, Fab's VPD at 13? Yeah, that's wow. I mean, that's normally diagnosed when you're in your later teens, right? So, sorry, I'm trying to like read all of the questions here. The documentary on, if you watch it on YouTube, that doesn't cost anything. Or are you asking like, does it cost anything to watch it, or did it cost me anything to make it? Because it did cost me to make it. I had to get funding for it, but to watch it on YouTube, it's free. There's a DVD version that's 50 minutes long, though, that you can get from my website at a pretty good price. So if you want to see more, it's there on my website. So, oh, thank you, Isaac. You're cool, too! Carlos, I might have depression, but it's sort of intermittent, and I'm suspecting I might have some kind of mood disorder. I don't know what, or a hormonal problem, but whatever it is, I do have depression sometimes, and if not depression, at least motivation problems. I procrastinate a lot on everything, and I'm very also, it's like I'm ambitious-minded, but in practice I don't do that much. I keep thinking, I want to do all this stuff. I want to make videos. I want to make this awesome meal, or I want to clean the whole house or something like that. And then when I don't do it, I get depressed. So mine's probably more based on me wanting to do all this stuff. So, yeah. But yeah, Gum88. Yeah, you can show... Feel free to send the link to the documentary to anybody. If another way to spread it around is to get a DVD copy and, lend it out if you want to, or like watch it with people. So a couple people have bought copies for people that they knew because they thought they would benefit from seeing it. So, oh, thank you, Steph. That's awesome for you to share it. Okay. Oh yeah, Fabs. Yeah, you mentioned you have trouble with washing your hair because of the sensory issues with that. I wish I had better advice, honestly, because I don't have the same issue. I'm glad you're sharing these with us, though, because like I guess by sharing your experiences, there might be other people who have the same issue. I personally don't, but let's see. I'm kind of the opposite. I love washing my hair. In fact, I have a dry scalp sometimes, so I like to get like brushes and just it's like anything that'll scratch my scalp. I really like that feeling, so washing my hair is kind of amazing. So that's one reason why I can't really relate with the hair washing thing. Okay. Alright, that makes sense. So they can't diagnose you with BPD till you're 18 then. But wow. I mean, that's pretty young for them to say you might have it, so. Alright, thanks for joining us, UK Photo. You have a great night and a good dinner. And Megan, yeah, somebody asked that earlier, but Asperger's is, according to some studies, is likely hereditary. I can't link to studies because I don't remember what they are. I just know that, I mean, there's a lot of things that people say, like, oh, this causes autism or this causes autism, but, I truly believe Asperger's is inherited because my grandmother was a very quirky person. My mom is like, she's convinced that my grandmother was on the spectrum. She's no longer with us now, but when she was so quirky. She was so friendly with everybody, but like was a little innocent, I guess. Like I guess that made her able to talk to anybody and be nice to anybody, and I don't know. She was an oddball, but I loved her. Also, my I'm trying to think who else. Like my whole family, like we all have maybe like some tiny traits, but I'm the only one who has full blown Asperger's and like diagnosed with it. But then again, really, you could say anybody and everybody has traits of Asperger's, just at different levels, I guess. Like, you don't have to have Asperger's to be socially awkward, for instance. Or you don't have to have extreme emotions to be on the spectrum. Okay. Oh yeah, right. So do you get like scabs and stuff on your scalp then or something? Or no, eczema is more like the inflamed skin thing, right? Cuz that would make sense then, cuz that would make it very sensitive then. But yeah, I don't have the washing hair issue. So, speaking of emotions, cause it is what we're talking about. There's this app that I'd like to recommend. Nobody paid me to recommend it. Actually my counselor recommended it for the purpose of seeing if I have a mood disorder. And this app, I don't know if you can see in the corner there, it's Dailyo. This is a mood tracking app that I can type in the name too, just so you can see it. You know, if you just look that up on the App Store, it should be there for, at least for Android. You can put in your mood, like your general, like, here's, see, there's like a little, I wish I could get it to like get in focus, it's too bright. But you can see there's like a little emoji thing on the side, and like you choose an emoji based on how you're feeling, and there's like bad and meh and good, and then there's like awful and rad, which are all like for the more extreme ups and downs. You can put like what you were doing, so like there's, you know, woke up. You can add in your own stuff. So like my sleep is important, so I added poor sleep as a activity in there, and it's like, hold on. There we go. Yeah, so I added a couple activities, which is really handy, and you can put in your own notes and everything, and it's actually, even if I don't know if I have a mood disorder yet, because my counselor said it was kind of inconclusive, I need more information. It's really helped me, because I would think, because I tend to think in black and white, I tend to think that, oh, my life is incredible when I'm feeling good. And it's like, my life is all good. And then when I'm feeling bad, it's like, my life is all bad. But when I look at this, it's like, no, my life isn't all good. I felt like crud yesterday. Or like, my life isn't all bad. I felt great yesterday. So, it's totally helpful. So, brain in hand? I'm actually gonna probably look that one up later. Is that another, like, is that a mood tracking thing? Brain in hand app. Thank you for the recommendation, Fabs. I'm going to look that up later. Okay. So Megan, you have family with Asperger's. You're on the spectrum, right? I can't remember like which one my followers are and which ones aren't. But if you are, I guess that would make sense if you have relatives too. Okay. Oh, ouch, yeah. I can't even imagine that. That would drive me crazy having scabs on my head. Yeah, I feel you now. Now that makes total sense. sounds like it would be painful to wash your hair if you got scabs on your scalp. So yeah, I recommend that app. There's a lot of other things that I do for emotional regulation. There's a lot of other apps. I use a lot of apps because when I'm like depressed, I can't really get up and go to my computer and do stuff. So, hold on a second. I'm going to ask Steph if I can keep streaming for longer because of the whole, the troll thing. Normally I'd like to talk for at least an hour, and I've probably only been talking half hour, so. I might have to tag her, but I don't remember her username again. I can't quite read it, but dermatitis is a skin thing, right? I have dry skin. That's about the only skin issue I have. I don't know. I don't know if that's like a... Sometimes it just happens to... You just happen to have it, and you happen to have Asperger's too. So, alright. So another app that I'd really like to recommend for emotional regulation, this one up in the corner called My Oasis. It gives you this... I'm going to type that one in. My Oasis app. It basically gives you your own little island. And it's very calming. It's very, thank you, Steph. Yeah, I was really annoyed at the trolls, and because they took up like half my stream, because I was trying to figure out how to kick their butts. So, alright, thank you. Yeah, if you guys want to watch more of the other streamers of the Autistic Initiative, Sithra is next, so Steph will probably post a link in the chat at some point, or you can follow the Facebook page. But yeah, I'm gonna keep streaming for a little bit. This is My Oasis. So you have your own little island, and like it's raining right now because I made it rain. You can make it rain. You can make it sunny. You can, let's see. You can like rotate it. You can zoom in. And everywhere you press, there's little hearts. So it might be a little girly, but it's like, you just keep tapping the screen, you keep earning hearts. So you get kind of like your reward center treated with this. Just press it as many times as you want to get all your currency. And then there's little animals running around. And I'm trying to figure out what were these buttons again. I don't know what that did. It just did something. Hold on. I want to see if I can... Oh, and there's... You can play music. And then these, the creatures and the trees, like, talk to you. Which I think is, like, really sweet. It says, oh no, it went away before I could read it. They say really sweet things to you, and it's like... It's perfect for relaxing or when you feel just really awful about yourself. So, I can't figure out how to get it to stop raining, but... Yeah, as you play it, more things will be added to your island. You don't even need really any gaming experience or any skill in anything to play it. It's just very relaxing. So, yep. And yes, it is on Android. If you're asking about My Oasis, same for Dalio. Those are both on Android. Which is kind of amazing. I like Android a lot. Let's see. I have a lot more apps on my old phone than I have on this one. This is a new phone that I got. I got a cool case for it, and I'm super excited because it's pretty. It's got mandalas on it. But yeah, another thing that can happen, I think, if you're on the spectrum and you've got what most people would call special interests or obsessive interests, which I think are just they're just really, really, really into their interests is what it is. But, oh, okay. Thank you. Um, but yeah, one thing that could potentially happen is, because a lot of times I know that I use my interests as emotional regulation sometimes. Like if I am feeling really, really stressed out, I'll go and I'll watch Netflix because I like Netflix and I'm really into, right now I'm really into the show Once Upon a Time. Even though I'm so far into it, I'm at the point where it's like, oh, this is getting so repetitive, but I like it. It's relaxing for me to watch. And, but like if there's a potential though to do something, to get into it too much, to like use it too much as a coping mechanism, if that makes sense. Like you can use your you could use your, thank you, Steph. Huh, okay, virtual mom, that sounds like interesting, I guess, if you wanted to be a mom. But yeah, there's a potential to get too much into it and too obsessed with it to the point where it's like taking over your life. So I say use your interests for emotional regulation. Actually do that, but also manage your time as best you can. Try not to like. Why am I saying this? Try not to get too obsessed. That's like telling a telling a cat not to be a cat. Because like I understand the intense obsessions with things. Oh man, now it makes me wish that my obsession right now was writing, so I can get back to writing my novel. Oh, writing. Speaking of writing, that actually relates to me in terms of like another emotional regulation kind of thing. So, oh wow, really? What's your obsession, Fabs? I'm curious. That's really good to know. Because then it's actually pretty nice and predictable then. But for me, I really like writing. I find it relaxing. It's sort of a way to get out my emotions. And a long time ago, and my friend Ed isn't here. I hope he doesn't mind me talking about this a little bit, but he's a good friend. My friend Ed from the UK, he's a good friend of mine. I was terrible at making friends in person, and then I met him on the internet, and we started chatting, and we started role-playing in a fantasy world we just kind of came up with out of the blue, and that's how Veil came about. But the role-playing was such an important thing for me because I felt like I could let out my emotions in the roleplay. The story unfolded based on how I was feeling, which in some places made it a little weird, but for the most part, it actually made it a really exciting story because my emotions are all over the place. So that's one thing that definitely inspired Veil, and I am really excited about writing it. It's really hard to capture it a second time around, though, because the role plays were a sort of on-the-spot thing. So I gotta read all of the heavy metal and nutrition science. Those are an interesting mix there. Yeah, good job, Edward. Yeah, be careful. Don't play guitar that long to the point of getting tendinitis. But I like a bit of metal. I like symphonic metal. I was obsessed with Nightwish for a while. And sorting out music. Oh man, I do that too. I just love organizing. I love going through my iTunes and like making sure all of the artist names and stuff are in there. I don't do that as much anymore. I probably should. I have music playing through my headphones. One moment. Oh, there we go. Xbox, sweet. Dancing and singing is good too. So you can like, I guess your dancing might make up for the playing video games, right? And sitting down. Animals versus people? That's a good question. It depends. It really depends on my functioning. When I'm feeling like very socially inept and I'm not feeling social in general, I tend to prefer animals. Yeah, so then my answer, I guess, would be, yeah, I do prefer animals mostly, because I hardly, like, I got my whole family here most of the time, and they're downstairs doing whatever, and I could go and talk to them at any time, but the first person I go to is my dog. I always be like, where's Sammy? I'll go up to people to ask, where's Sammy? Sammy's wonderful. He's like my therapy dog. He's super fluffy. Oh, okay. Crazy imagination. Yep. Same here. I have too many ideas. It's crazy. Yay, another Nightwish fan. High five. High five. High five. Oh, some symphonic bands I like. I really only know of two that I like right now, and that's Nightwish and Within Temptation. And rather than liking a whole, I guess a whole band, I tend to like a couple songs by that band. But I like a lot of Nightwish songs, and I like a couple songs by Within Temptation. So, okay, Carlos. So you choose to have no friends? Is like you're totally cool with that? I mean, I'm not gonna criticize because I get it. I really do. Yeah. Oh, okay. So you relate to animals and young children then? That's kind of weird because I'm like, I think I used to get along with little kids more, like when I was younger, but now it's like, I haven't been around a lot of them, so I don't always know what to say around kids. I'm like, it's like, you guys, you gotta be careful what you say around kids, and now I'm like, I've matured to the point where it's like, okay, to be honest, I was very sheltered. I was not allowed to swear, or more like it was frowned upon if I were to swear, if I were to talk about anything sexual, like even just in a normal conversation. So like now I'm matured to the point where it's like, I'm totally comfortable with that stuff. So now when I talk to kids, it's like, oh, I have to consciously remember not to swear or talk about certain things because that would be bad around children. So wait, a clip of what, Fabs? What's it called? Waterloo Road? I've not heard of that. Is that a TV show or something? Nasir. I don't believe you can really grow out of autism. I know people say that you can, but I think what tends to happen is you adapt. And I'm gonna say right now, this happens to everybody, not just on the people on the spectrum, but when you're a kid, you know, your traits are just, you know, they're out there for everybody to see. Your behaviors are out there for everybody to see. And as you grow up, you have to adapt to the growing up process, becoming an adult, and know that no, it's not okay to climb on things anymore, or to shout, or to play on jungle gyms at the park. It's not okay to do a lot of things. And so I think what happens with people on the spectrum is those behaviors, like with anybody else, some of those behaviors you might have as a kid might go away. But the being autistic, the feeling autistic, the things that come with being autistic, they don't seem to go away. Like, at least for me. I mean, I have times when I'm like, am I cured of Asperger's? Because look, I have so many friends. I can talk to people. I don't feel awkward. And I'm told I'm pretty good at socializing now. So do I have Asperger's still? And then I have a bad day. And then I, like, fail to, like, function. I don't know how to describe that. It's like, I'll have days when I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm very socially awkward. So it's like, yeah, I still have Asperger's. I have not grown out of it. So, yeah. I agree with you, Edward. Okay, I'm not gonna be conceited here, but does that make me a smart Aspie? Am I smart? Please tell me I'm smart! No, I don't, no, I'm not that awkward. No, I know I'm... See, now I'm trying to, like, keep a balance between being humble and, like, sounding conceited. Because I used to not be able to take compliments, I used to not be able to say anything good about myself, so, but I can say, nowadays, I know I'm smart. I have adapted. I know how to look fairly normal. Just some people might get mad at me for some things still, but just not as often. So, you know, it just takes a lot of practice, a lot of sleep, a lot of giving up on dreams, and a lot of drugs. So, no, not drugs. Not drugs, medications. Not drugs, don't do drugs. Hashtag don't do drugs. Okay. Oh, okay. I was reading Fab's description of the British TV show. I have not seen The Good Doctor. Yeah, that's actually true. You can't really know if you're smart or not. I might not be that smart. My IQ is average. So, let's see. How do I react when people tell me I'm being too quiet? I don't get too much of that, honestly. I'm pretty talkative. The only time when I'm too quiet is in situations where it's socially acceptable to be quiet, like in a classroom. Like, you're not supposed to talk in a classroom during a class. Now, in terms of replying to people, like through text or email or picking up my phone, I get criticized for that a lot because I am very bad about that. So, like, people will tell me to pick up my phone more often. I mean, I don't know. I guess people just get annoyed at me. They'll send me several messages, be like, "Are you still there?" And then some friends who tend to be more, or friends or people in general who seem to be more on the, how do I put it? Because I know there's a lot of people out there that are really self-conscious about the way that they are and the way that they act. I'm one of them too, but it's like they'll message me once and be like, "Are you there? Are you there?" And then say, like, "Is it something I did?" And then that's when I reply, and I'm like, no, don't blame yourself. I'm awful at getting back to people. I'm sorry. I just don't know what to say. So. Oh, wow. Anger can make your IQ 30 points lower. I'd like to see some studies on that, but that kind of makes sense. So, yeah, I'm sorry you have a hard time socializing, Carlos. I mean, that's like a conundrum there. Like, wanting to be with friends but choosing not to because you know you can't really socialize as well as you'd like to. To be honest, I often think about my life and I'm like outgoing, but there are some days when I think I wish I had no friends. Because then I would have so much more time, so much more energy. I could devote that to something. I mean, the downside would be I might not have as much encouragement, which is probably something that, like, that you would need from having friends, Carlos. Like, just, that's honestly the best thing about having friends. And it is kind of sad not to have it. But at the same time, sometimes I want to run away from my friends. Because even if I can socialize, but my relationships are not perfect. And I feel like a failure sometimes because I don't get back to people right away. I say things that might offend people sometimes. So sometimes I'm thoughtless with the way I talk. I'm sometimes even thoughtless with the way I give advice. And it's I like giving advice. I do. But sometimes I might not think it through very much, and then I'll feel awful because I give the wrong advice to somebody, or because I don't know, or just because I'm not meeting their expectations. And so that's the downside of having a lot of friends. It's like, I feel like I gotta meet everybody's expectations. There's less of that now that I'm older, and like adults are more understanding, because it's like, oh, everybody works, everybody has their own life. I don't work, but like I firmly state I am always doing something here. So don't ever assume I'm doing nothing. Don't say, oh, you have no job, you can hang out whenever, right? It's like, no, I'm writing a book. I'm cooking for my family. I'm trying to do all of these things. I'm trying to make myself better. So, actually, no, Matt did not give me the teddy bear. Sorry, this is like reversed, so I can't figure out where I'm pointing. But yeah, another friend gave it to me because I wanted a giant teddy bear. So now I have that giant teddy bear. His name is Teddy Jr. because my nickname for that person was Teddy. So, okay. Alright, that makes sense, Edward. Yeah, when I took my IQ test, I think I was at like 90 something. 90 or 100, no, 90, like 8 or something, or 100 something. So that's pretty average. Oh, okay. So, okay. So Gary, you're more of probably a one-on-one person, or just, talking to a couple people. That makes sense. I'm more of a social butterfly. I like to have I don't like to have tons of people around because I get overstimulated. But I like going out with groups of like 5, no, maybe not that many. Between 3, 4 people. One-on-one, I'm actually kind of uncomfortable with because, again, I don't know what to say. And when I'm around more people, they're talking to each other too. So I don't have to talk all the time. So, alrighty. Yes, Fabs, it is okay to still sleep with a stuffy at 16. I'm 26. I sleep with like 5 different stuffed animals. I will show you them right now. I'll be right back. Okay. These are my 2 favorites. I sleep with both of them because they're so tiny and I need, extra squish. This is Tim. Matt gave me Tim, and Tim is a macho bunny who drinks muscle milk because that's his backstory. And this is Gigi, who I bought from Target. And I love Gigi's flailing, dangly legs and arms. They're so beautiful. Yeah, I sleep with those guys, and then I have this giant bunny from my childhood. It's not so giant now that I'm not as tiny, but this is Bunny. I put this shirt on her that used to go to a pajama set that I made for myself, and then I grew out of it. Her neck is very, unstuffed, though. But Bunny is good for cold nights. So, sorry to hear you don't have friends, Edward. That's no good. Aw. I wish I could give you a hug right now. Can I give you a camera hug? 'Cause that's not fun. It's not fun feeling like a failure. Okay. Well, you do go to school, okay. Oh, okay. Fake friends. Those are not good. Those are not good. Okay. Oh yeah, I understand that. They loose. I usually tell people to just email me instead of text me. Yeah. Yeah, that's a very good point, Bloomin'. Bloomin' Cole. Yeah, for sure. I'm the same way where I mean, this is also this is a generalization. Not everybody's like this, but generally a lot of women will talk about things because they need emotional support, just to say, hey, I feel ya, just to listen. And I'm an advice giver though, so I struggle to keep my mouth shut and to not say anything and just listen. I'm trying to get better at that. Oy. Aw, monkey! Cheeky chops. Aw, that's adorable. Okay. I understand that, Carlos. I'm not a drinker, but all I need is like half a shot of alcohol, and I'm like, I feel so much more socially confident. So, yeah. Yeah, Jilst. Yeah, I am lucky, honestly. I mean, like, not everybody gets to keep all their old stuff. I'm honestly kind of a bit of a memory hoarder, so I should at some point get rid of things. I just have such a hard time letting go. What's your horrible odd fear, Fabs? What? Some of your friends stole from you? Those don't sound like good friends. I'm gonna open up the shades a little because the light is dying and the zombies are coming out. Ah! Hello. Oh, I do that too. I get attached to objects very, very easily. So, don't mind me, I'm just going to have a snack. I saw these at the store. I don't know if you've ever had Lara bars. I like Lara bars. Frankly, though, I can make better ones. Like, they're so easy to make. You just need the really expensive ingredients. Oh, the birds chirping is just a background track, honestly. I'm playing it on a CD player. It's to help me stay calm and to help create a nice atmosphere. So... Oh yeah, I remember you mentioning that, Fabs. I mean, that's gotta be... Just gotta be, like, really... Like, an annoying stuff. Like, do you have, like, the sensation of it? And I wonder if part of it might be the eczema, too, because... Having, like, really, really sensitive skin can give you the feeling of, like... Bugs crawling everywhere. It's not a good feeling. So, trying to think if there's anything, hold on, messaging a friend. Nom nom nom. So, I'm gonna put this aside and not be rude. Nom nom nom! No! The CD player fell! Oh. There you go. Good CD player. Wow. I just bit my lip. I've gotten that question more than once, and probably for a good reason. Yes, about maybe half the people I know on the spectrum, who are on the spectrum, drive. And I don't know, like, what are the factors in that, you know, make them able to drive, but, I think it really depends on the person. I can drive, my fiance can drive, my friend Miranda can drive, let's see. My best friend can't drive, though. My best friend on the spectrum. And the way she explained it was she just, after a certain speed, like 45 miles an hour, she panics. Like, she would try to drive, but she, like, panics after that speed. And I think it's just I mean, part of it could be this, like, the fear that a lot of people have when they first start driving, which is, I could hit something or someone in this death vehicle. Part of it could be the sensation of moving and, like, knowing that you have the control of it is kind of frightening, I think, for some people. So, for me, it's also a lot to take in, too, when you're driving. For for anybody, but especially if you're on the spectrum, or like I hear people with ADHD too have hard time driving because they see like they're processing every little thing, and you have to pay attention to everything and to make sure you're not going to hit something. So that's probably just it's just a lot of brain power to drive for some people. So I think that's pretty common. Oh yeah, Edward, you said you have OCD, so you got the I know like the hand washing thing is kind of a stereotype thing, but it's also an actual thing people have. So is that yours? Like your compulsion, I guess. Mine's face washing. Like I feel like skin oil on my face right now, and I want to just wash it off. Drive me nutsy. Oh, that's a good point though, Edward. Yeah, good at preventing viruses. Yep. I mean, I don't have that as a compulsion, but when people are sick, I wash my hands after I touch anything. I also like, how do I put it? I think like when I wash my hands, because I do wash my hands more often than the average person, but I think that's my Asperger's because I'll get something sticky on my hands, or if I like touch dust, or if I touch like, it's like I can feel everything. So I can feel when I've touched something sticky. Or I don't like my hands to be wet. They gotta be dry. Like, so after I'm done washing my hands, gotta have them dry. But I'll wash my hands after I've touched almost anything. I'm trying not to. So, okay, I'll get to your question, Fabs. So if I was your parent then, and you were having sensory issues, would I force you to face something or not to face it? That depends on the necessity of whatever it is. Like I have to think of, okay, so your sensory issues were, well, the scalp thing, the washing hair thing. Was that it? Were there more? I know you have a lot of sensory problems. It really depends. Like if you I think we've talked about how like you pretty much have to wash your hair. I mean, you don't have to do it every day. I don't think you should be forced to do it every day because it is hard for you. But if you don't wash your hair, you could have issues. I don't remember how somebody else described it, but it's like you could get, I mean, you probably could get lice and stuff like that if you didn't wash your hair. So, so I would like, for stuff like that, like I would negotiate and say, how about I wash my hair once every couple days, or once a week, or it really depends because I don't know what your eczema on your scalp is like. I don't know if that needs daily care, and if it does need daily care, that would mean that you would probably have to wash your hair every day. So I don't know. Like I said, it really depends on what the thing is. Like for me, my sensory stuff is visual and auditory mostly, and touch too, like my skin. So certain parts of my skin is very sensitive. So I can't wear certain clothes, for instance. But my parents never really forced me to wear certain clothes. Like I can't wear stuff that squeezes my arms and legs, for instance. So instead of them forcing me to wear form-fitting things, it's totally fine for me to just wear a shirt like this that doesn't squeeze. So we just find different clothes. So if there's ways around it that, that are practical, then it shouldn't be forced. So a feeling of metal. Ooh. I don't like the taste of metal. Oh, if you're touching doorknobs, I wash my hands after touching doorknobs when people are sick, mostly. But metal, I like. What's really weird is I don't like the taste of metal. I don't go around like licking coins or anything. But like when something tastes metallic, that's the worst taste to me ever. I would, if I'm touching money, I gotta wash my hands. I don't want to taste any of that stuff. It's nasty. Or if I'm touching a lot of metal stuff. Oh, Edward, that's a good. Why didn't I think of that? That's a good. It's a good suggestion. Have you, like, how short is your hair, Fabs? Is it short? Is it long? Because maybe keeping it short might actually make it easier to wash it or to take care of it. I mean, heck, some people, even women, some people go completely bald. Let's see. Okay. Corduroy material. Oh, I hate that too. Ugh. Ugh. I do that too. I'm wearing sweatpants right now. See? Well, I got slippers on, but these are sweatpants. And they gotta have, like, the flare out. Unfortunately, I'm wearing leggings underneath, which I can't stand. They should be burning right now, but that's actually something I've forced myself to deal with because I'm so cold all the time. I have to wear leggings under pants a lot now. But I recently got a pair of really fluffy pajama pants, and I wear those instead, and it's a lot easier than wearing leggings. Fuzzy, slippery material. How would you describe that? Fuzzy and slippery. Phobic reaction is something you saw in a TV or movie. Yes and no, it depends. By phobic, if you mean like a sensory thing, I don't know. I'd have to really think about that. It really depends on the volume of the movie. It depends on what's being shown. I don't like gore. I have reactions to gore, so I don't want to see that. I mean, I'm getting better about it now. I mean, my fiance is into like the Vikings show and stuff, and I've been watching that with him, so I'm toughening up a little. So yeah. Oh yeah. Makes sense stuff. And your hair is cute, by the way, even though it's short. It works. Okay. I can imagine the sensation of a haircut would be quite annoying. So you're growing your hair out long, passerby? Oh, okay. Something I saw that frightened me for no logical reason. I mean, I think I'm frightened by a lot of things that other people are. So I don't know if this would be a good example, but I don't know. Static? Sometimes? If there's like... A lot of horror movies do this, though. So, it's like, other people are probably scared of static. Not like static like a normal TV static, but like if everything's warped and like disorienting. It's weird because there's some things that I like in visuals, like music videos and stuff, that have warped looks, and like I don't know how to describe this correctly. Sort of like the horror warped. I don't like the horror warping that happens in some things. I don't even know if that makes any sense at all. I would link to a video, but I shouldn't because it would freak me out just to look at it again. Let me think. There was this kid's show. I don't remember what it was called. There was this guy, though, who was dressed as a mouse. Just in a cheesy looking mouse costume. And I just remember it freaked me out for no reason. It just looked creepy. So... Oh, thank you, Gary. Yay! Learning is good. Learning is wonderful. Except when you learn things you shouldn't learn, and then we will make you unlearn them. No, I don't know. Okay. So I'm probably gonna have to end the stream shortly, just because it's been about an hour and my brain is getting a little fried. Plus, I have this light above my head so you can see me better, and I need to turn that off at some point. Okay. Grainy video, warbly audio. Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, that would, that's a little closer to the disorientation I mentioned, but it's like, if you take that times 3, if you were to, like, play a really bad VHS tape or something like that. Yay, laughing! I wish I had my dog with me. I do this thing where I put his ears up and he looks like a little bunny because he's white. So, thank you. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me. I don't know if there's anything else I wanted to wrap up with. I mean, we were talking about Asperger's and emotions, so we talked about a lot of stuff, which is fine because we're open to talking about anything related to Asperger's. So I'm glad we got to talk about a wide variety of things. So if you want the names of those apps I mentioned earlier, the mood tracking app and the other app, I'll put them below at the end of the stream. And take care of yourselves. Get lots of sleep because emotional regulation requires good sleep. And if you have sleep problems, I highly recommend getting help for that because it's not fun. I understand that. Anyway, I'm talking way too much. Okay, well, I'll have a good day, and I will see you later. And make sure to donate to the Autistic Self-Advocacy Network and the Autism Women's Network. Links are below. And check out the other people involved in the Autistic Gaming Initiative. I think right now, Cithra is streaming now, so go check them out. Look up Autistic Gaming Initiative on Twitter or on Facebook to follow all the streams and watch all the people play video games because I'm boring and I'm not playing video games.